जी स्टूडेंट्स, आप सॉल्व कर रहे हैं ISI MSQE 2024 का ओरिजिनल पेपर. दिस इज this one. This is the number to text me anything for classes, for study material, mock test. So let's get started. Consumer has two goods: visit a nearby park and composite consumption of composite consumption good Y according to the रेफरेंस u इक्वल टू एक्स वाई. ये अपना दिया हुआ है, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज and consumer's income is R and the price of the composite good is normalized to 1. Okay, so initially there is an entry fee is P star to visit the park. Suppose that the authorities are considering a proposal to reduce the park visit entry fee P star to P dash. So find the increase in the consumer surplus resulting from this proposal. So in this case, to find the increase in consumer surplus, so consumer surplus is what is the difference between what consumer is willing to pay and what he actually pays. So number of parks visit before the fees reduction. So let's denote the number of park visits before the fees reduction is X, and this after is this. So before fees reduction, price is before fee star, and consumer surplus per visit is U equal to X star into 1 minus P star. After the fee reduction, price per visit P dash and consumer surplus is U. This. So the increased consumer surplus per visit, then delta CS we can say this part. So to find the R, we denote the budget constant R equal to X star P star plus Y. Okay, so since the price of the composite goods is normalized to 1, so R equal to X star P star plus this thing. Solving this for X, we get it as ये दोनों आपका आ जाएगा. अब कंज्यूमर सरप्लस में इसको डालेंगे. So now for the CS part, यहाँ से जो हम लोग का CS आएगा डेल्टा CS, that is U of R minus X star P star by P prime 1 plus P star. Delta CS will be R X star P star equal to 1 so R XP ये दोनों कट जाएगा. So R by P dash वगैरह अलग से लिखे. So this XP R by P, so XX 2X plus. So this expression represents the increase in the consumer surplus resulting from the reduction of the entry fee. That's the first part done. Okay, now in the second part, now suppose there is an increase in the proposal of the maintaining the per visit of this P star, but handout of a one-off cash voucher to the consumer. There is a consumer would get a cash voucher only once regardless of how many times she visits the park. Find the minimum value of the cash voucher that would make the consumer not worse of under the alternative proposal compared to the earlier proposal in this case. So consumer को ये नहीं लगना चाहिए उसको जो थोड़ा वो खराब सिचुएशन में आ गया, ठीक है. So in this case लेट्स नोट द कैश वाउचर का जो वैल्यू है उसे V ले लेते हैं, ठीक है. So अभी क्या देना है, R plus V is X star P star plus Y. अब consumer is receiving क्या होता है, one of a cash voucher, so the effective income increases by V. So let's, उसका U था U equal to XY, therefore consumers with voucher हो गया U with voucher WV, ठीक है, X dash into 1, that is X prime. So X prime is the number of visits the consumer makes to the park after receiving the cash voucher. अब consumer utility without the cash voucher but with reduced entry fee. Yes. So we want to find the minimum value of V, ठीक है, such that the consumer is not worse off under the alternative proposal compared to the earliest proposal to reduce entry fee from P star to P prime. So in other words, we want to find the minimum value of W. Sorry, minimum value of V rather, such that W with voucher is greater than equal to W without, this is without voucher. Voucher. R minus this prime. So this is the minimum value of V that would make the consumer not worse off. Okay. Next, third part है. Third part is again a little bit long reading. Now suppose that there is a third proposal which simultaneously reduces the per visit entry from P star to P prime and charges of one of a lump sum user fee. That is a fee which has only paid once regardless of the number of visits. Okay. And find the maximum value of the lump sum user fee that makes the consumer not worse. So again the same scenario. तो lump sum fee क्या ले सकते हैं? Let F ही है तो फी को हम लोग लेते हैं F, ठीक है. So the consumer's budget constant under this proposal becomes R minus F equal to X star P star plus Y. So where R is the consumer's income, X prime is the number of visits to the park after the fees reduction, and Y is the expenditure on the composite good, okay, which will remain the same, we presume. So now let's analyze the consumer's utility under this proposal. So the consumer's utility अपना क्या है, U equal to था XY. So the consumer's utility with the reduced entry fee and lump sum fees is U with fees, that is X dash equal to 1, that is X dash, okay. And the consumer's utility without the fees is this. So we want to find the maximum value of F that would make the consumer not worse off under the third proposal compared to the initial situation. That is U with fees is greater than equal to U without fees. So in this case this will be X P prime. So this greater than equal to P dash R, F minus R, P dash P star. So I missed out P star and X dash F. This will be is to cancels out, so P star this. Okay, so the maximum value of F in this case will be this. That would make the consumer not worse off compared to the initial situation of this situation. Okay, so this is the scenario here. Now we move to, okay, this is the third part. Okay, now we move forward to the fourth part, that is part directly, and this structure is D. Prove that C this less than S less than E, and where delta is the solution of the part E and this is above. Okay, so case 1, let us C less than delta S. Okay, so from this thing we find that the maximum value of the lump sum user fee is F, which makes the consumer not worse off, and the third proposal is F by this. This is the part. So let's denote this value as capital C, and we find that the increase in the consumer surplus resulting from the reducing per visit entry is P star to P prime is delta S. So since C represents the maximum value of the lump sum user fee, C is the value of the lump sum user fee, this would make the consumer not worse off, and delta S represents the increase in the consumer surplus resulting from the fees reduction, so that has to be less than this. So the first part is established. Second is S and E's part. Second part is very easy, so delta S less than E. Okay, so from part B we find that the minimum value of the cash voucher V is that to make the consumer not worse off under the alternative situation. Okay, so that is X star, P star, P prime. So S represents, del S represents the increase in the consumer surplus resulting from the fees reduction, and E represents the minimum value, minimum E equal to the minimum value here. So that is not to make the consumer worse off. Okay, so we can see that delta S less than E as well. So obviously this consumer is directly going for this as required. So this is the answer to this question. So if you have any more questions and doubts and queries, ask me.